Mr. I just released an album on the road. Heck, this is not going to be that interview because I want to make sure to give that its proper attention. But feel free, man, to mention allbarsmatter.com. Do you want to?
Oh man, it's all about College Speaker Fast Pass, man. All about College Speaker Fast Pass. If it wasn't for this, then I wouldn't be able to, put time and resources into that. But the College Speaker Fast Pass, I'm so grateful to this man here, Stan Pearson II, because a lot of our friends are going to be on this weekend, and the College Speaker Fast Pass is all about giving you the head start that we didn't have. And I remember, Stan, when you said that in the hotel room in New York, it was like we could give people the head start we didn't have. And as we were going through and thinking about how can we really do that, like how can we say that and then be true with the actions, we can introduce you to our people. Like, period. That's the thing. If you're a speaker, especially in the college space, relationships, everybody talks about it. They say, oh, relationships are important. Marathon mindset. Like, you hear all that stuff, but nobody that I know says, listen, Stan, I'm going to introduce you to Jennifer. Jennifer works at this school. Hey, Jennifer, this is Stan. He's amazing. Y'all talk. Nobody does that because in the past, even though we're a very collaborative industry, I think even in the past, that competitive nature, it's like, nah, I don't want to give him or her a leg up because I ain't get that. So you need to make sure that you grind the same way I did. You send the birthday cards just like I did. You do all of that. And I get it. But one thing that I learned is that they're going to hire other speakers anyway.
Anyway, somebody is going to get hired anyway.
Right. We're never married to our clients. We're always in friendship or relationship with them. So that's just like your best friend. If you see your best friend with another friend, you're not going to be like, no, that's my best friend. You can't be friends too. It's like, no, it's not, we ain't married. Like, we're not married. It's very different. Now, depending on what culture you come from, might be okay if you're married. But in the culture that I was raised in, you have one spouse. That's it. Like, just one. So that's why I'm excited about the College Speaker Fast Pass. We're going to have an amazing training the day before. So as of this recording, May 29th, amazing training. Peter Billigus, if we can tear him away from his money bin. I don't know what
we're convinced. Like, it was Donald Duck? No, it wasn't Donald Duck. It was
Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck. Except he's nice. Scrooge McDuck. Right.
The nice Scrooge McDuck. That's how I'm going to introduce
Nice
him.
McDuck.
That's the nice McDuck. But Peter's going to be talking about showcasing and even how you can do it virtually. Stan, you're going to be talking about the perfect presentation. Angel's going to be talking about positioning yourself in the eyes of college event planners, which is going to be super valuable because the next day you're going to be in front of college event planners. And Stan, I want to share this. I didn't share this in another video I shared. Okay. Each speaker is going to get 2 one-on-ones.
What? First off, I'm glad that we decided that. I'm really
my bad. Y'all see, he didn't know that.
I'm so glad that we're giving them the head start that we never got in this. No, I'm just kidding. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Here's why though. We had so many higher ed folks that wanted to do it. It was like, well, we can actually do it. Like because for the hour, we're like, hey, for an hour, you got to do this. And then as I was lining up all the speakers, it was like, well, this person didn't get a one-on-one. So alternating them, it just worked out that way. But there's only room for 4 more speakers for that to happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Only room for 4 more speakers. So if you're watching this and you aren't in, go to collegespeakerfastpass.com and join.
Odell, let me ask you a quick question, man. In all your years of speaking, which I mean, you're almost a decade in full time, almost a decade in, and you've been to a lot of programming conferences for sure.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Tell me, how difficult is it at one of these events to have a 30-minute one-on-one? Listen, to be honest, it's got to be simple because you pay, you invest a lot and then you're around a bunch of them, right? So clearly it's got to be simple just to be like, listen, can I just chop it up with you for 30 minutes? It's got to be super easy.
Okay, I'm going to answer the question. I'm going to give you an example. It's impossible.
God.
Impossible. And then I'll give you an example because we're talking about 30 minutes of uninterrupted time for somebody you don't know. The first one I was a part of when I met you in Houston, 2009. All right, 2009. I went there. I went to another one before that, but I was just I was just auditing. I just watched to see how it was going. I showcased, and back in those days, them showcases was full of heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters. Hall of Famers.
Seriously. So I showcase and feel this big because I'm up there with Stan, who's salsa dance.
Thank you for remembering.
Talking different languages. Tom is up there, beautiful minding it on the power. I didn't even use PowerPoint then. And so Tom is up there, beautiful minding the screen. Peter's there. Aurel's there. Aurel's up and coming at that time with energy out this world. And I'm just there like, dang, I thought it was going to be different. I thought showcasing was going to be different. Then you go to the dinners, you go to the meals, you don't know who to sit with because you don't know anybody. And so you just kind of like, well, let me try to kind of fit in somewhere, and you can't have a one-on-one conversation because of the lights, because of the camera, because of you can't.
No, actually, no, but it's got to be easier in some of the halls where you get a chance to be at a booth and then everyone comes by and can't wait. They can't wait to talk to you. They can't wait to say hi.
I remember where I was, so it was a long exhibit hall. I was like towards the door is like maybe a football field away from me. And people were walking in, they see all the fun stuff, they see all that stuff. By the time they got to my table, it was kind of like, it's kind of towards the end. Let's just turn around. Like, that's how it was. So a lot of times when they come to those tables, they're coming just because their advisor, like the students are coming just because the advisor said, hey, go in there. The advisors don't come. They don't come to those unless they know you and unless they're looking for you. They don't come. One thing that I learned, and a lot of advisors, if you come to College Speaker Fast Pass, you can ask them this question. A lot of them use those opportunities to put the students in leadership positions. They've been to 1,000 of those things as students, as professionals, as a lot of different roles. So they're not interested in it. So it's one of those things where in theory, it's amazing. And in theory, with hard work, with persistence, with a used car salesman-like mentality, you can meet some people, but you can't make a very good connection. All the connections that I've made have been because I literally sat down with somebody and just would not leave them alone. And they actually liked me. Like Lisa, if you all come, y'all will get to meet my friend Lisa. Lisa, I met her at that very first APCA in 2008. She was just by herself waiting for it to start. And I started a conversation with her. She actually didn't hire me till 2 years later, though. Yeah. But I had a conversation with her. Shanae Moore, our mutual friend. Here's something I'm not going to put Shanae on blast. I don't have time. But Shanae was one of those, she's always been super real with me. So like she saw me showcase and was like, oh, you're going to be good one day. She said, you're going to be good one day. And I'm like, and when you get that type of encouragement, what you're really looking for is, are you going to hire me though? Right?
That's what I need. I didn't pay $3,000 for you to tell me I'm gonna be good one day. I need that day to be today.
Right. No. Another one of our mutual friends, Dakota Doman. Man, Dakota, this dude, he saw me and was like, "Hey, man, we might bring you in." They hired you instead of me. I hadn't brought that up. They hired you instead of me. And then the next year, Dakota was like, "Man, you're getting really good, bro." And it wasn't until the next year that he threw me an alley-oop. He was leaving, I guess, a job or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he floated my name and the next person hired me. But I said all that to say, like, those are the relationship things and the marathon mindset that people say, but they don't do. And so what we're doing with the College Speaker Fast Pass is we're going through all of that. Like, you're literally going to sit down and talk to somebody. If you like them, if they like you, if you vibe, you're going to know very quickly. If not, you still get information from that, because even though if I'm at a booth and I'm like, hey Stan, hey, I'm Odell Bazell. Have you ever heard of Impact Speaker? And you're going to be like, no, what do you do? And then immediately you tuned out.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
Hey, real quick, just tell me your spiel. By the way, I think that's literally one of the most disrespectful hellos you can see. If you're watching this and you go to conferences or when the new normal arrives, one of the most disrespectful things you can say to a person that's paid $3,000 just to be in your space is, go ahead, tell me your spiel. Like, that's just so, especially when you got 18-year-olds, not just advisors, but an 18-year-old, yeah, tell me, go ahead, what do you got? Like, that's just, anyway, that's just food for thought.
That's the equivalent, Stan, of when I was out there in that world trying to get the ladies, and they would be like, no. Give me your number. I'm not going to give you mine. Give me your number, and I'll call you.
Right.
Look, just tell me you think I'm ugly and walk away. Like
that's it. I would prefer that.
Right.
It hurts less, really.
Right. And then I can make fun of you on your way when you're walking away from me. That'll make me feel better about myself.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Because your head was too big. and we can both have a big head, because then our kids.
8 heads.
Never mind. Let me stop talking about it.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. What's going on? Hey, what's happening, Brooks? How you doing? Yeah. So it's so this is one of those situations where we have an opportunity to, and you mentioned folks said, "Oh, you've gotten good over the course of a few years." But this is talk about combining the best of two worlds. And when we first started thinking about this and masterminding this, we're like, how can we not just put them in a position? How can we not just put them in a place where they can meet the right people, right? Because technically, a lot of these places we've gone, we were there to meet the right people. But how can we prepare them for when they meet the right people? Because a number of times, and I'm not just speakers, but certainly speakers in this particular case, who have, spent 4 or 5. I've been one of those people, so I can speak from experience, that went to a place and they weren't completely ready, right? To say, hey, this is what you're going to need. And here over, 50 years and $2 million collectively, plus whatever Peter has, I'm just kidding, right? Whatever Odell has, right? Plus, of experience and everything we know, we're going to pour that into you. Boom. And then when we give you the solid foundation, then we're going to introduce you to someone who's ready to walk into your house. Like that is something that is an awesome opportunity. So if you're watching this, you're like, I don't know where I would meet my clients. So there's no live events going on. There's no in person. There's nothing that's set up virtually for me to meet the right people who are, again, trained to talk to me. We just had a meeting with several higher ed professionals who
15.
are, what's that?
It was 15.
15. I didn't even want to give the number, right? 15 higher ed professionals. And we had, a very candid conversation about the expectation, what they could expect, and how the speakers would be preparing for them. We did that on an off day. and then bringing them together shortly. So it's like literally connecting the dots. And if you're watching this, well, why did you all do this? Number one, we wanted to create something that was greater, bigger than us, and literally thought, what if we gave people the head start we never had? What if you don't have a line of credit of $5,000, right? What if you don't have, a hotel to stay at, or someone to call, to meet, to eat, to share, or all those things, because this was a live event. For those of you watching, this was a live event initially, and then obviously the pandemic happened, and we quickly pivoted. Like, cool, okay, with the dream team. And some of y'all know, if you're watching, I always love y'all and appreciate you all. With the dream team, who are made up of higher ed professionals, we're like, hey, we could do what we should do. Let's go ahead and move it. And we literally did. And it's blossomed all the better. And so again, if you are a speaker who is not just wanting to meet the right people, but be connected with other like-minded speakers and be trained on how to keynote, how to put together the perfect presentation, and how not just to be a speaker, but the business of speaking, which Odell is going to speak. Tell them exactly what you're going to speak on, Odell. I love the way you say this.
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about 3 ways to turn your speech into a cash machine, like how you turn that speech really into paid advertising. And I just did an interview with the great Grant the Goat Baldwin. And we were talking, and it was almost like we were reading the same teleprompter, where he said speaking should be paid advertising. You're an entrepreneur. You're not a speaker. You're an entrepreneur, and speaking is a way that you advertise your business for a profit. Like, just if you think about it like that, and then coupled with different ways, I want to talk about how you can market to your audience, how you can do different things. Stan mentioned at the beginning of the interview, Odell, you got an album out. And to a lot of people, it's like, man, why would you do that? Like, why would you put music out, but then you're a speaker? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And it's all about how I get my message out. My message of inspiration can go through different channels. Music is just one. Somebody might hear my speech and like it, but then they might love my music. Some people might love my music and be like, dang, I didn't know Odell wrote books. Like, yo, let me check it out more. Because just think about it. Kevin Hart just came out with a book. My grandmother, who is 88 years old, has never seen Kevin Hart stand up. My grandmother buys books. It's where I get it from. She read Kevin Hart's book and then said, you know what? If you can handle the language, it's a good read. And I'm like, handle the language? Grandma, this language, some of this wasn't even invented when you was my age. What you talking about? Can I handle the language? But think about that. My grandma is a fan of Kevin Hart now because she read his book. So I think a lot of times as a speaker, we get up there, we typecast ourselves, and we're saying the only way that I can make money is through standing and delivering a presentation. And so my presentation is going to deep dive into, no, there are a lot of different ways you can make money from your speech within the speaking realm, but also outside of that. And I want to add this, Stan. Make sure you all go to collegespeakerfastpass.com. There's a short video on there that's going to take you through all of this detail more succinctly than we're going through it now. But you mentioned, Stan, when you were talking about preparing the speaker for the conference, for the showcase.
Yeah.
One thing that we've done is we've prepared the college event planner to talk to the speaker. I want you to understand that and get that. So we opened up their mind to say, hey, they're going to be asking you questions. Just be open and honest about how you answer the questions. We've been training them on how to hire you. Because even if they don't hire you, specifically if you're watching this or if you're in a one-on-one situation, they might not hire you, but then they'll hire somebody else. They'll have an experience, but they'll think about you. Because you're going to be, and some of them have hired, like Angel, our friend Angel, who's going to be speaking. Shout out to her. She's on the dream team. Angel's hired over 300 speakers. So what are you going to be able to tell Angel? Nothing. But one thing you're going to be able to talk to somebody like her about is your story. And what if she connects to your story better than she connects to somebody else's story? Same thing with Shanae. Shanae has hundreds of speakers she's hired. Same thing. So you're going to get to talk to them in a non-aggressive, a non-rushing type of environment, where it's opening up the idea of how can I work with you versus what's your spiel?
Yeah, I can guarantee none of them are going to say that. None of the higher. First off, the speakers don't have a spiel, right? They're trained appropriately. And number two, like the advisors, they won't ask that. That is not what's going to be said, because whether you know this or not, that's definitely a confidence killer. Like it can certainly murk confidence, and people don't always understand that. And somebody will say, well, it shouldn't murk your confidence. Listen, if you pay $3,000 to be anywhere, and I'm saying that on the low end, but let's just say you pay $3,000 to be someplace, and then a stranger comes up to you when you're trying to give them free stuff, free books, free candy, and a smile, and they say, go ahead, tell me your spiel and sign my book. Like that's certainly, and I have pretty strong confidence, but it has shook me sometimes. Like, oh, okay, I paid too much to let this shit.
And you mentioned sign your book. What book, Stan? Not your book.
Oh, no, not my book.
What book are they signing? Signing for them.
A conference book that has nothing to do with me, really, besides has my name to be like, okay, you were here. Which is, again, it's cool because it guarantees engagement, but there's something about purposeful engagement that exceeds just general engagement, right? Because most people are get lost in obscurity. And so right now, and especially to Odell's point, is teaching how does one create omnipresence? How does that happen? How can I be everywhere to someone? And that's something that's not often taught. And that's something that, heck, if I could go back to the beginning, get the head start that, that I didn't have, I would want to know, okay, how do I multiply myself? And you know what, really quick, to your point, because you mentioned people may be like, so why, do you have this album, and how might someone like it? Or your grandmother, Kevin Hartman wrote a book she loves. I was speaking to a friend of mine, his name is Jeremy Lane, shout out. Jeremy, and he was like, what's some advice that you would give to, if you go back to college or whatever, what would you do differently? And I think I said something about like, I would start a business in college. Like I wasn't the most popular person, but I had enough, let's say, cachet to create. So I had friends that were making t-shirts and stuff. And he was like, you know what? I would have probably done more, because some things I didn't do because of what people were going to think about me. And I said, you know what? That's in first place, man. There were so many times, like through my young adulthood or in college, where I could have had a better time or gone someplace else, but I didn't go. I didn't dance as much. I didn't do anything, right? Because I was afraid of what people were going to say about me. And so for those of you all out there wondering, how could I finesse this into my talk and make it make sense? But you haven't done so because you're afraid that someone's going to say, why would you do that? Why would you want to do that? Right? Don't let being afraid of what people are going to say or think keep you from living your dream and using that message to help people. Like that is your mission, because guess what? People are going to think stuff anyway. People think something anyway. Before I was, the salsa guy, and I used salsa dancing in my presentations, right? And still do. And people didn't always agree with that. Some folks thought it was corny, it was weird, or heck, that who's this black guy salsa dancer? Who does he think he is? So that almost made me shy away from it. But you have to live into them. And then I was ultra validated when someone called me and said they were in Las Vegas and saw someone else doing a salsa leadership program. I said, I guess I made it. So I'm just saying that to drive that point home. For those of y'all who have this off talent, we're going to teach you how to turn that talent into multiplying yourself and learning how to be not just a speaker, but how to market your business. Because essentially, again, it's paid advertising. As we get out of here, I guess we kept long enough. I think this is some pretty good information. Even if you don't come this weekend, this was super helpful. For real, it was more helpful than I wanted it to be. No, but I know
the look on your face, you were like, I'm going to tell them about that this weekend. Be like, what? They get two?
Like,
oh,
Stan goes, baby Stan goes, like he always does, like, what, two? That's fantastic, dude. That's great. Again, just like you, to be able to have two uninterrupted conversations with someone that had the potential to book me too. Are you kidding me? I think
to throw even more scarcity out there. This is never going to happen again at this price.
Yeah, it won't. No,
Ever.
Yeah, it won't.
Not going to happen. This is going to be a historic weekend. It's going to be something because most of the people that joined, they got in on the early bird special.
Yeah, there was an early bird special. And some of you are like, why didn't I get on the early bird special? In part because Odell and I have been telling you that we've been working on things for the last year, 2 years. All that we've asked you to do is, stay tuned, watch our videos, engage in our posts. If you've done any of those things, then you knew that there was an early bird special. You knew. So those folks, there's some folks that hopped on it and really got a steal of a deal. But it's still a steal of a deal because I'll say this. I've paid upwards of $3,000-$4,000 for what's going to happen this weekend. And this is for literally a fraction of that. And they're certainly going to this is amazing. This is a Chris Paul oop to Blake Griffin in their prime. I'm not even going to call him CP 2.75, somebody's grade point average. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say Chris Paul.
That was an inside joke. Chris Paul is a dear, dear friend of mine. Not really, but
they don't have the truth. Y'all hoop together and against each other. Close enough?
Yeah, that's
close enough. It's possible that there's a picture of you two together in some way.
There's got to be a picture. I saw, and I know, and y'all are now listening to the after interview.
Yeah, because we're just about done.
Green room. Y'all now listening to the green room conversation. But yeah, I was on another thread with this other school, our rivals. Turns out they got film of our last game.
Are you kidding me?
Players had tape of our last game. I was like, dude, you got to send me that. And he was like, yeah, man, whatever you need. So I was like, yo, that's what's up. But so I'm sure that there is footage or there's a picture of me and Chris Paul together somewhere floating out there. I just got to find it. That's the only thing.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it because I know you got game. Just looking to see you in action. I know it. No longer any doubt. No longer any doubt. Not that there ever was doubt. Okay, perceived doubt.
That's how it is, man. Look, I've grown up in my body my whole life, so I know what it's like to always be the shortest dude with and I look funny when I play because I got the big old head, I got long arms, and I kind of just do I know
Rondo.
Right, exactly. I was like Rondo, but I could shoot. That's basically the best way I could describe my the way I was. I could shoot, and so everybody they used to pick on me. All this stuff, they used to pick on me till I dropped them buckets. And then there was like, oh dang, we can't.
He know what he's doing.
But so I'm used to it, man. I played 1-on-1 against one of my good friends. We almost lost our friendship.
Really, I'm that kind of competitor.
Cause he's super competitive, and he kept saying he's like, you can't play no ball. He was all state when he played in high school and all this stuff. And so I'm like, all right, I said, let's play. There is film of us playing. I beat him the first game, and then the second game he quit.
You made him quit, my dog, my guy. Wait,
he tells a totally different story. So
did he hurt something? Was it getting late?
We almost got into it, That's what happened. It's like because we were actually speaking the next day together. We were speaking at the University of Arkansas the next day, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and they let us in the gym because we was talking, and the contact was like, "Oh, we'll let y'all in the gym late at night, no problem," and gave us a ball and everything. And so It was like we were playing. We played the first game, I won. The second game, I think he was actually winning. Like I think he was beating me.
He didn't believe in himself.
He called a travel on me. And I said, really? I said, you're going to call, like, and so we got into it, like, you're going to call a travel? Oh, you can't, like, you can't just win square up. He's like, all right, you got it. You got it. And I was like, for real? I was like, you just going to quit like this? Like, nah, I ain't quitting. I don't want nobody to get hurt. It's like, oh, so what's that mean? Like, so it was like.
He finessed you. He finessed himself out of the game. He did not believe in it. I don't know if you're watching this, if y'all still cool. He did not believe that he could win. He LeBron'd it.
That's my dude. That's my dude. He said that he knew he was gonna beat because he was winning. Like that's the thing. Like we were going to 9. It was 5-4.
5-4 going to 9. Winning. He was winning.
I had the ball, and then I did. It's on film. Like it's all on film.
Did you travel?
Arguing. I did travel a little bit. Like I did. But it was like if you look at the film, but I'm like, come on, man. Like you're
send me the film.
I was like, you're gonna call that? Like that's why
it's one of those things like you don't call it. It had no bearing on the play.
I was like, you're gonna call that? And he was like, yeah. And so I was just like, all right, whatever. And then I gave him the ball back, and then I like fouled him really hard. And then he was like, oh, so that's what we forget that. And he kind of like threw the ball towards me, and I'm still and like my brother was there and the videographer was there. They thought we were about to fight.
You had a whole film crew. This is a whole reality TV situation. I can't wait to see the film. When you get a chance, I know you're busy. I want it because listen. If there's one thing that people get upset with me at the gym for, it is because I will call travel. Not unnecessarily, but that's probably my call of choice. Some people have a curse word of choice. My call of choice on the court is a travel. So I'll let you know I'll let you know if I would have called it. If I would have, I'll just let you know. But I'm sure it wasn't worth calling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But after that, I told him, because that was a minute ago. I think I had just turned 30. So this is like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And so I told him, I was like, I'm retiring after I turn 30. And if you watch the film, we look like two old dudes playing.
Oh, that's the best. Everyone watches like, would they please just quit? Would they please just call it a time?
He's tall. He's like 6'2" and whatever. So he's just trying to back me down. But I'm like, nah, dog, I'm not little. Like I'm short, but I'm not little. Like you're not about to back me. So he leaning. He doing all this. Like it's hilarious. If we played now, I would destroy him.
Really? Let's set it up. No, I'm just kidding.
He don't play.
Oh, he doesn't play at all?
He don't
Poor
play.
guy. You push this man into retirement. He ain't never been the same.
I did do that. He will tell you that. And if you challenge me, it's going to be the same thing.
Huh? Listen to me. Let me just tell you this. First off, if it's a shootout, I know you think you got a little jumper. I didn't see it on camera, one take Drake. I didn't see it. Nobody knows that the magic of television was possible. I've seen it. I'm semi-impressed. Because a couple times you get the one take Drake. Makes me wonder. But I've done it myself, so I'll buy it. Let me tell you what. You got 2 eyes, right? You see them 2 eyes you're looking through? I'm going to shoot them suckers out. All right, I'm telling you right now, you got your eyes closed. Let us get on the court and shoot them eyes out. Anyway.
Are we playing a shooting game? Like, what are we going to play like a game? If
we're going to play a game, you know what? I would just need a heads up. Let me know when we're going to do it. And then we can race. That we're going to race too. We're going to race. Nothing. We are also.
I run all the time.
I didn't say cross country. That's a sprint. Okay, you can run all the time. Doesn't mean you're fast.
I run like I sprint like 100 meters, and then I walk around the loop, and then I run. Like I do that.
You still do that?
Heels.
You still do that? Present day?
Yes.
Okay.
I do that all the time. That's How do you think I'm built like a running back, man?
You know, I can't say that I do that all the time. So I cannot say that I sprint 100 meters just because it's a nice day outside and then run hills. And I'm not okay, Rocky. Listen, Creed, we got time for all this stuff, but I bet you this tonight starts my training. I ain't gonna have you out in these streets. You got me looking stupid for everybody watching. Just know I'm real with mine. See,
we can play. We can play. I am not the best basketball player anymore. I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I'm not the best basketball player anymore. But with you, because what I've heard about you, I've scouted you on the low.
See, look at you. That's how you know I'm nice. That's how you know I have potential. Go ahead. Tell me more.
What I've heard about you is that you can shoot.
Okay.
Because I heard about it that you can shoot. What I also know is that your fast twitch lateral movement muscles ain't what they used to be.
Son of a gun, you don't play public.
You don't play on a regular basis. Shoot, nobody's been playing on a regular basis for the past few months.
You're gonna talk about
like, I know your side to side twitch, they're not there. So I would crowd you. That's what I would do. I would crowd you.
Wait, first you're gonna be so disrespectful. You're gonna tell me on live television how you're going to stop me. Is that what's happening right now? How you gonna stop me from scoring and doing what I want?
Yes.
You've made a mistake. Y'all watch. You made a serious disrespectful mistake. I'm not gonna tell you. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
I will tell you how to guard me. The best way to guard me,
okay, I'm listening,
is to prove my jumper. Okay. That's how I would guard me, because I'm shorter than you, and I don't know about quickness. I don't know about speed and all that stuff. But I am deceptively long. I have a deceptively long stride. I'll just say that. So it's like if you mess up and like, oh dang, I didn't know, and then that's how I made my money back in the day. It's like he can't get. Oh dang, he got there. How did he do that? I didn't realize it.
Don't tell me. I don't want you to tell me anymore. I don't want you to tell me anymore. It's gonna be a battle. That's all you got to know. You know, remember the day you played Stampede.
I'm sure it will be. Will our wives let us play?
I don't know. That's probably the better question. And the more debatable question is, would they allow us?
I don't think they'll let us play.
There's a good chance they're not going to allow this to happen, which could be in my favor. I'm not going to lie. But I am starting training tonight officially. Doing all this different stuff.
We can shoot. We can always shoot.
That's safest. I'm not going to lie. If on the staplemeter, if I could just shoot, I'd appreciate that so much more. All right, cool. All right, let's get real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Thank you very much, Odell, for taking some time. I know it's a busy week for us, especially as we close in on the summit. Again, if you are a speaker and you are serious about wanting to be a speaker, there's no better time than right now. It doesn't feel that way, and in part, it doesn't feel that way because a lot of people were not prepared for this time. But we are, and we're getting more prepared and gathering and learning more resources to put everyone in a position to be successful during this time. So as Odell mentioned earlier, everyone there is going to have 2 one-on-ones with an advisor, with someone that has the potential to book them or build a relationship with them. And that's what we've let people know. This is your opportunity to get to know people, to build relationships. It's like, hey, here, now do your work, right? We drove you here, we dropped you off, now do what you do. And there's no better place to do that than here, the Speaker Summit. So make sure you go to College Speaker Fast Pass. Odell, you have any final words for them? Any final thoughts? What's up, Terrell? What's happening?
Just very, very simple. Wealthy people buy time, broke people spend all their time. So if you don't think that it's worth it, I just want you to think about how much it would be worth to get paid to speak virtually, in person. Think about how much that and think about how much it will cost you not to act.
COI from one of your mentors. COI, the cost of inaction. A lot of people are worried about the ROI, but I'd say 10 times more people, it's the COI that's hurting them, and that's the cost of inaction. If you have the ability to invest in yourself right now, virtual real estate is low. The barriers of entry right now is low. Take time, gather your virtual real estate so you can create a foundation that you can grow and develop. That's it. Cool, man. Thank you so very much, Odell. For everybody watching, make sure you go to collegespeakerfastpass.com. Watch the video in its entirety. If you know someone who's interested and they're serious, again, we have 4 slots left. Let them know. Send it to them. They're either serious or they're not. And we have the resources, so find them, create them. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Del, I will see you on the other side. I'm going to train, man. Peace.
All right, man.